I think it's difficult to really recollect when was the first moment where I became aware about Norman Foster and his architecture, because I think he was always very well known. Even when I started to study architecture, his name was absolutely recognized and considered, and as students we were going and visit his architecture. So I think Norman Foster is a reference in the world of architecture since long time ago. I remember the first time I met him, it was not really a direct introduction, but we were in the RIBA. It was a very special celebration for Barcelona, receiving the RIBA gold medal. And I remember him talking and being very lovely. And I remember Elena was next to him. And I thought they were both fantastic. We like history as a source of inspiration, but also in a kind of continuity, no? So that's why we feel that we can do a little more on top of history. And the attitude of Sir Norman with the history is even more grand. No, I think in the Berlin Parliament, the relation with history is so strong, and also in many other buildings and museums, and I think it's something we have to learn from, because maybe we were more considering history as a fragment, and he's considering history like a whole. No? So I'm sure that all the architects, we are kind of fascinating of the possibility of going on with history. We're working in history, and our attitude is likely different. I think the Reichstag is a very beautiful building. It's very strong. It's giving the relation with history, and also with the public, and also with a very difficult history in a very beautiful way. He really could do many buildings which are reminded as fundamental in some specific cities. And the Collserola Tower is one of them. So I look at it very often, because of course it's in an incredible position, and it's a stroke of genius, really, because it's so light, in the same time so technological, but in the same time it can give you really a recognizable point in the skyline of Barcelona, and also the history of how it was built, because it's really structurally so daring. I like very much of Norman that he's always trying something new. So really, when you see some of his buildings and you say, wow, this is the best he has ever done. No, he can do something even better. I think the education is still a very, very important part, and now more than any time, no? Because now we have these capacities of digital capacities, and maybe they can come before a real comprehension of things. So we really have to try to give this technological capacity in our education, but in the same time to give a sort of fundamental understanding of concepts, of what we are doing as architects, on how we have to respond to the request we receive from the society. And in this sense, I love the fact that Norman and Elena made a foundation, and this foundation is providing education to not only to the people going there in masters, but also to everybody, because I think this interchange between professional discoveries and teaching and learning is still the fundamental tool that will keep our architecture a quality architecture.